Recording in progress.
Yo, what up, what up, what up, family? I'm your boy Trey Frazier. I got my brother Maestro Styles here with me today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Welcome, folks. It's another episode of the Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Back after a week break from the pod and all that good stuff, man. Special shout out to all of our live viewers right now watching us on YouTube Live, Facebook, and Twitter Live. Continue to follow us on those platforms. Also, you can follow us on the gram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. Like I said, man, we had a week break in between since the last episode, man. I'm feeling good. Back, man. Football is here officially tonight. How you doing, man? First and foremost, man, I know we talked a couple of days ago, but I just want to say on the platform, happy belated birthday, bruh.
Appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, I'm trying to kill a fly, my bad.
I see.
What's good? I mean, what you do for your birthday, though? Like, anything special?
If you could, yes, I did do something special because my kids planned it for me on their own, and that's special to me. But in the traditional terms of what you speak of, I'll let you know that Saturday we are definitely going up. You can hit me if you can hit me if you're free Saturday, and I'll let you know what we're doing.
Okay.
If you and the wife is allowed a night off, we definitely going up in a very ratchet way.
And mom is actually coming to fly up this weekend. Surprisingly, because I just found out like a week ago that after we saw her down south for the trip that I was on in like 24 hours, she decided, oh, I'm flying up to help your aunt do some stuff. I was like, oh, okay. So maybe there's an opportunity to, get the sitter involved.
Yeah. We going up in a real alcohol ratchet way.
Okay. I'm a definitely take you up on that for certain, man. For certain. So it's a football show, basically. But before we get into it though, let me just say we do have a guest coming on later, probably another 20 minutes. He goes by the name of Fame Rothstein. Used to be one of our like religious callers when we used to take phone calls years ago. There were times when I thought I had to like create a whole segment for this guy. But he goes by the name of Fame Rothstein. He actually has a YouTube channel out right now called The Betting Sports Show, which you could catch there on YouTube. He's into this whole sports betting stuff with, numbers and, all that kind of stuff that we don't get into because I'll be honest with you. I would prefer not to play over-unders or, what's the spread and all that stuff. Like, I prefer not to do that. I'd rather do FanDuel. So, he's going to come on in a few minutes. And Bengals fan, by the way, also. So he's also going to talk some smack. Yep. It's week one. Your Steelers play the Bengals week one. So, we'll get into some more stuff with him on that. I want to start with basketball first, bro. I know it's a
we should get that out of the way.
Yeah, I know.
Get that out of the way.
Yeah, I know it's a football show, but I got to start with basketball because it kind of killed me that I've been a little under the weather the past couple of weeks, and I wanted to really get on and kind of talk about what happened with Donovan Mitchell possibly going to the Knicks, which everybody knows now that's not the case anymore. In a surprise move, the Cleveland Cavaliers go out and make the trade with the Utah Jazz for the All-Star guard. Now, they sent Lauri Markkanen, forget the other cat, Colin Sexton.
Yeah.
And another player. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying Colin Sexton, I guess I mean, I guess that's the you if you're going to trade for Donovan Mitchell, they would want your young guard. They Cleveland wants a more established guard, and with Utah rebuilding or tearing down, whatever they're doing right now.
Yeah.
To get a young guard, I guess makes sense.
Do you think that's more about Darius Garland's sort of, rise in combination with Colin Sexton and the injury? Because I think Cleveland kind of had a dilemma there. Like, once Colin Sexton's healthy, it's like, okay, now how do you incorporate these two guys? I think it makes sense for Cleveland to put Colin Sexton in a package deal.
Well, but that's if that's going to be an issue with Darius Garland, it shouldn't it be an issue with Donovan Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell play point and Colin Sexton play point.
And Darius Garland play point.
Some might go into the two then.
Well,
so my point is, wouldn't it be the same issue?
No, because I think Donovan Mitchell is your 2 and Darius Garland's your 1. And Colin Sexton was their 1 until he got hurt. And Darius Garland was supposed to be the backup 1, and Darius Garland did what he did last year, and they said, "Oh, Darius Garland, this dude can play."
I'm pretty sure that Donovan Mitchell. I'm pretty sure that Donovan Mitchell at least left Utah as a point guard.
As a point guard, you think? I don't know about that.
I'm pretty sure he was a point guard.
I don't know about that. Are you saying he played point, or are you saying that's what they advertised him as?
I'm saying that he played point. I'm saying that he took the ball up in games and played point.
Well, sure, but he was a 2 guard. Like, they listed him as a 2 guard.
Okay, look, you would know better than me.
Yeah, who was Mike Conley then?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So, but to kind of run through what the Cavs gave up. So they gave up 3 picks in addition to those 3 players to get Donovan Mitchell out of Utah. And so now, Cleveland out of nowhere, they get that up and coming, superstar on the team. Nobody expected that. So I guess the couple questions here, and I'll get to the next side of it in a moment. Where does this put the Cavs in the Eastern Conference? Because I still kind of look at Boston, Miami, the Nets now that KD and Kyrie, they're gonna run it back. Milwaukee, and to a certain extent Philly. I kind of put those 5 teams, 1 through 5. I still don't know that Cleveland is, a top 4 seed.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't know that the consensus came out that they would be a top 4 seed. I mean, to be honest, when I saw it on your on the notes, I was just like, okay. I mean, that's an easy conversation. They're not a top 4 team. This doesn't put them. It doesn't put them over the hump of any of those teams you just mentioned. To me, it was just like, to be honest, this was. I hate to say it, this was a lateral move, not because Donovan Mitchell isn't better than Colin Sexton, but because what he's going to bring to the team isn't going to elevate them, in my opinion, over anybody. They was a 6 seed. What were they, a 6 seed last year?
Who, Cleveland? Last playoff? They were what were they? They were 7, but they never made the tournament because they got knocked out by Atlanta in the play-in.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, so I mean, maybe they made the playoffs, maybe.
Yeah. Well, I think the expectation. Maybe. I think the expectation now is that they got to get into a 7-game series. Like, they can't just make the play-in and get knocked out. If you got Donovan Mitchell.
Well, yeah. I guess. Yeah. But I mean, look, they still gonna have to deal with the Hawks down there.
Sure, and the Hawks gonna have to deal with Donovan Mitchell.
I mean, look, I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell ain't a good ball player. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying Trey Young did this a couple of years in a row. I know he wasn't as good in the playoffs per se, this past playoffs, but I'm just saying as far as balls to the walls games, Trey Young has been known to go in there and do what he do in the Eastern Conference.
Sure, and who knows if they're gonna see him again? I mean, they might see somebody like Charlotte in the play-in. I mean, I think they beat Charlotte if you're Cleveland, but again, no matter who you play in that play-in, if they end up getting stuck, 7 through 10, I don't want to hear no excuses. Y'all made this trade. Y'all gotta play a 7-game series. That, for me, that is the next step in this Cavaliers team. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but top four is not even on my radar at all.
Yeah, I agree. I will say though, while it's not a consensus that folks had the Cavs in the top 4, I did hear some people think that they could potentially be number 4 in that East. I personally don't believe that to be the case.
I would love to know who thought that.
Stephen A. Stephen A. alluded to it a little bit, but he kind of like had one foot in and kind of one foot out of that. So I'm really not, buying that. But there were other couple people that, thought, the Cavs could, sneak up there. I will say this though, like in regard to their roster construction, that front court is still, 6'11", 7 foot. You know what I mean?
I think they're lacking.
They still, you said they're lacking in the front court in terms of scoring. I guess you're assuming, right?
Well, yes.
Okay. That's a fair, true assessment right there. I'm more so talking about on the defensive side where we know Donovan Mitchell is not a great defender, and hell, I'll even go as further to say I don't think he's a good defender. I mean, if you're the Cavs and you playing a team that's got to defend you, you're kind of like, okay, if you beat Donovan Mitchell to the basket, you got to deal with these trees behind me. You know what I mean? Like, if you're the Cavs, you kind of got to be thinking, okay, we'll be okay defensively in that regard. Some teams, don't have that. Mm-hmm. Some teams that got that player, got that star, they get beat off the dribble and, they get scored on. That's why you see so many teams in the league not as great, on the defensive side. But Cleveland,
on your mind,
I think,
who's
can do
their third scorer?
What's that?
In your mind, who's their 15 to 18 point guy?
It's gotta come somewhere from that front court, and I don't think it's coming from Jared Allen. It could come from Evan Mobley.
Mm-hmm.
It could come from Evan Mobley, but I don't see it coming from Jared Allen. And Evan Mobley is a guy that I think has got still some ceiling left, to reach his peak. So if you're looking for a third scorer, I mean, that's the dude that you're looking to do. Now, let's be honest here. The Cavs upgraded their scoring just getting Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, for
like
sure.
That's 25, 26 points. Yeah. Because who was their leading scorer? Darius Garland was their leading scorer, wasn't it, last year?
Well, he was at like 22, 23 points.
Right.
Something like that.
So you still have him, and you pair him with Mitchell. You got 22-point scorer. You got a 26-point scorer.
Yeah.
So they've certainly upgraded that. I don't know if I'm as concerned about them having a third scorer as I would have been last year without Donovan Mitchell.
Nah, I think you still need a guy that's going to get you 15.
Yeah.
I think you still need a guy that's going to get you 15.
Yeah, I think they could find that. I don't think they'll have a problem with getting a guy like that could, score 15 if he's a third guy. So, to the Knicks side of it, and I tweeted about this, once the deal went down, and I said, look, Knicks fans got to relax. We signed R.J. Barrett to the extension, $120 million, 4 years, I think. To me, that was the right move. That's your number 3 pick. He got better from day one up until last year. His numbers got better. That's the move you make. If you're the Knicks front office, you sign your guy. I'm happy about that. Like that, I got no problems with that.
Okay.
Secondly, I've been of the opinion that I never thought we were gonna get Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah.
And it kind of goes back to when we tried to get Durant and Kyrie, when we tried to get LeBron years ago, when it didn't work out, and it was almost as if the media was toying with the Knicks and Knicks fans about getting a superstar, and it just never worked out. So
Yeah.
I was just always of the notion that, okay, they could talk all they want. We know we got assets. I know that they got draft picks. They got some players that they could put in the deal. I get that no one else at the time could compete with what the Knicks had. But at the end of the day, I just thought this just ain't gonna work out. Like, if it took this long, because we're talking going back to June when all this was talked about. Like, if you ain't get him now, and the dude keeps showing up at Met games because he's got some family that works for the Mets in the city. He stay in the city at the Rucker. He be his dude be all over the city. It's almost as if he's trying to tell the Jazz, yo, trade me to New York City. And it took weeks and weeks, and then it turned to a month. And it's like, y'all, if this is not happening, then it's I just don't see how this is gonna work, because otherwise it would have been done already. And I guess the other angle is that Danny Ainge has known to fleece teams in trades. I mean, we saw what he did to get Rudy Gobert up out of there. Going back to the Celtics days when he got KG from Minnesota, when he traded KG and Paul Pierce to the Nets and got that haul back from the Nets. And then we also saw when he did the draft day trade when they got Tatum, and then Markelle Fultz went to the Sixers. So he's done this kind of thing over the years as a general manager. And I'll be honest, bro. Leon Rose gets picked on for not talking to the media, which I certainly don't care about. But I thought he stood pat. Like, yo, you not gonna fleece me, bro. Like, I got these draft picks. Like, if you want to make a deal, let's make a deal. Like, you're just not going to, make this deal about you fleecing me. So, that's
fleecing. Define that word. I'm getting lost at fleecing.
Winning the trade. Being more about,
okay,
raping you for the trade, basically. Kind of like raping you
right.
records. Like, little Jadakiss reference there. But
so you think, okay, so I ask you this: Are you saying that you prefer R.J. Barrett over Donovan Mitchell?
I prefer Donovan Mitchell for the right price. If the deal wasn't going to be accepted by the Jazz, then it's like, okay, this is it. This is the best we can give you. Now, there were conflicting, stories about different packages. Like, even some packages had RJ as a part of that. And if they would have made the deal, then I'd have been like, okay, no problem. You did what you had to do. We know what Donovan Mitchell can do. You know what I mean? You did what you had to do. So it's not for me, it's not would I rather have Barrett or would I rather have Donovan Mitchell. It's just more, I want Donovan Mitchell, but I don't want him at the expense of my team just giving away the farm, for him. And I think that's where the negotiations kind of, came to a standstill, was that Ainge was just like, yo, I got to have this. I got to have 5 picks. I got to have 3 players. Or I got to have 6 picks. I got to have 2 players. Combination of stuff. And,
right.
And some people believe that he was never going, to trade Donovan to the Knicks. Like, there's also a myth out there that was never really going to be the case anyway. He was just toying with the Knicks. Which...
Interesting.
Which I don't
believe.
I don't
believe that. I'm about to say I don't believe that, because if they was willing to pay that whatever the price was, I think they would have gave that up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So
Tell Edible Arrangements we need a sponsorship.
I thought you would say something, but I was like, you know what? I gotta sip my tea, bro.
No, I feel you. No shade. No shade.
So we agree. Just to kind of wrap this thing up, so we agree that while the Cavs did get better roster wise, they're still kind of in that middle of the Eastern Conference, if not
Yeah.
5. They're like 6, 7, or 8 still.
I mean, to be honest, they kind of. I mean, like I said, or like you said, Donovan Mitchell should get them in the playoffs. But I don't see them going anywhere in the playoffs.
First round exit, right?
Yeah.
I think they should I think they should celebrate if the season ends with a first round exit, because there's really,
I guess maybe some people don't want to come. I guess
if anybody expects them in a second round, like it's got to be like a bunch of Cavs fans that's expecting that more than typical NBA fans like us that just
Right.
root for players. So yeah, I think the first round exit I think is kind of the ceiling for them. So I think we agree there. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see what RJ Barrett is gonna do this year. He's been posting pictures on his social media. The dude's been working out. This dude's been ready, and I hope that they give the keys to this guy. Like, it's like the whole Thibodeau, we gonna play defense and we gonna play team ball and all this stuff. Like nah, give RJ the keys to the team. You drafted him 3rd overall. He got better. His points per game went up. Get that man a car and let him drive it. So that's kind of where
be ready
I'm at.
for it for your sake.
What's that?
Hope you ready for it for y'all sake.
I hope he ready for it too, man. He, like I said, the dude been posting pictures, working out, and doing all kinds of stuff, man. So yeah, I'm looking forward to the season getting started, man. And they're probably, if they're gonna play the kids, which I think them backing out of the Mitchell deal now sort of signifies that they got to start playing some of these younger cats more, get them more minutes. Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, Jericho Sims. You're gonna have to at some point find a way to get Julius Randle and Evan Fournier off the roster. And if it don't happen between now and the start of the season, I would say at some point during the season, you got to find some team. I mean, some team is going to be desperate to, get a front court player. I'm surprised it hadn't been, this offseason. Nobody really wants Julius Randle this offseason, but I would imagine the team in the playoff push would want to get Julius Randle. So, that's kind of where I'm at.
I don't know. The way he played the last time he was in the playoffs, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, whoever gets him, I would imagine he's not going to be the best player on the team.
Yeah, well, obviously, but
yeah, I think that's his best suit. Like, if the pressure ain't on him, he could just play ball. I mean,
yeah, I agree that the Knicks need to go ahead and try to get him about it. I do agree with that. So
yeah, it's got to happen before this next season ends, because otherwise you're just hauling off, playing the kids and getting the kids these minutes, and at that point you're just kind of like, okay, we gonna have to do something about the coaching on this team, and a lot of people want Thibodeau out of there too. I don't know if I'm ready to. I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. I kind of was last year. I kind of was calling for his head last year, but then I was like, you know what? He came in the first year and he got us the 4th seed. Like, I can't, just, knock him off the pedestal that, quick. Let me just at least give him let him just, go through the 3rd year, see how he does, and if things don't go well, then he got to be shown the door, man. So.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm ready for some football, man.
Thank God for football. Thank God for that terrible that terrible business inside of the game that we love. But I'm ready, man. To be honest with you, I'm trying to figure out how we can expedite this podcast so I don't got to miss too much of the game.
Yeah, yeah, I feel you, bro. And you're just talking for tonight, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we don't have to do any Thursday nights throughout the season.
Yeah.
That's the hope right there. But yeah, man, I thought we just maybe throw out some predictions there. Division winners. That kind of thing. Kind of like we do every year, the start of the year.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Where you at in the? Well, let's. We got our special guest coming in. We can incorporate him into the conversation here. If you
Well,
just,
I would not. I would say let's get what he on, and then we'll do the predictions. Let's talk about what he on. I mean, if you want to do that after we talk about what he on, then
yeah.
I definitely want to get into the sports betting thing.
Right. Hey, yo, Fame.
I don't think he in yet. I think you jumped. I don't think he in yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I see the window. I'm just saying I don't think he in yet.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. All right. Here we go. Get the audio on, man. get the audio working, man. This man in the cruiser. Yeah, we got our special guest here, folks. I remember.
Fam, you there?
I'm here, man.
All right.
What's happening, bro?
All right.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Hey, we
good, man. How you been?
Good. We good.
I've been all right, man. I'm telling you right now, I was geeked when y'all called me. Like, I'm like, oh hell yeah, it was good to hear that y'all was, what I'm saying, like, just hadn't talked to y'all in a while. It was good to hear that, that y'all, because I was always see the posts that y'all was, recording or whatever, and sometimes I would miss them, sometimes I would only be able to catch them, but I made sure. I'm like, I'm because I'm gonna support my brothers. They gonna support me. I'm gonna support them. And that's what it's about. So, what's up, y'all? How y'all been?
Hey, listen, I gotta intro you right into the show, man. We got it's cool. We got the brother right here, the homie Fame Rothstein, aka Fame up at Prospect. One of Biggie's old lines. I used to try to, sample that just for the show whenever he called into the show years ago. But we got the homie on here. So the name of your YouTube channel is the Betting Sports Channel. Is that right?
Betting Public Sports Show.
Okay.
The name is taken from a former HBO boxing commentator, Larry Merchant. That's what he referred to us. Us, the general sports bettor, the betting public. And so I just kind of took that name and that's what we call it, the Betting Public Sports Show.
No doubt. That's what's up.
That's what's up.
That's what's up.
So Fame, if me and Trey are not sports bettors. If you, or at least not with the what's the term I'm looking for, over unders and part, like I don't know what none of that shit means. I won't speak for Trey, but I don't know what none of that shit means. So I guess for us and for our public, break down sports betting. Like if you could sum up sports betting, break it down for us.
Well, if I could sum it up, it's basically if you do it right, it could basically be a small lottery winning for you daily. If you do it, if you don't go too hard on it. You got the total. That's the over and under of the game. Or you can do that for the first half. Or you can do that for one team for the first half or for the game. You can do the point spread. That's for that, per quarter, per game, per half. It just all depends. It's usually a professional major league game, be it NFL or NBA, is going to have about 300 different types of bets per each game. Yeah, and I need to admit, the name Rothstein, Fame up in Prospect, that was my first Twitter name, and that was like my first social media, and that's what it kind of stuck with. And the name Rothstein comes from a sports bettor, Arnold Rothstein, the guy who fixed or allegedly fixed the 1919 World Series between the Reds and White Sox. Inspired the movie
Wow.
8 Men Out.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I kind of got that from. Those are all my inspirations.
So you looking to fix
You
games?
dig
I'm sorry.
I said you looking to fix a game, just like that old
Uh,
Rothstein did.
I cannot confirm nor deny the same. That's
Plead
all
the
I'm
fifth.
saying.
Hey, Fame.
All right, so go ahead, Trey. I'm my fault.
Yeah, no, you good. I just wanted to throw this at him too. The Calvin Ridley stuff. So I want you to explain this to people because I think when we see other players that are involved in domestic violence, sexual assault, and the punishment from the league is light, like in the Deshaun Watson case, and then you throw it over to the Calvin Ridley situation where he bet a parlay on a Falcons game that he wasn't a part of from his couch, and he ends up getting a year suspension. Explain that to people for why the NFL views gambling more of a detriment to the league than sexual assault, domestic violence, those other cases where, players just get 4 game, 6 game suspensions.
That's a great question, Trey. Gambling is a competition issue. You're talking about the integrity of the games potentially. Speaking of the movie 8 Men Out, that made baseball come up with an edict that any gambling on on baseball can result to a lifetime banishment.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to a player here
Pete
in
Rose.
our city,
Mm-hmm.
Pete Rose, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I remember that day coming home from school and seeing it, on middle of the afternoon, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The local news is on. They didn't used to do that back in 80, 89, whenever it was.
Mm-hmm.
News was only on 5:30, 6, and 11.
Mm-hmm.
It's on all day, so it knew it was a big story. It was Pete Rose that he was, and I didn't understand it then. I'm 12, 13 at the time, but yeah, you're talking about an integrity issue because a player could possibly, bet against himself to say, yeah, I'm gonna go out and have a bad game, even though it didn't involve Calvin Ridley himself. He's got friends on that team.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to get a hold of people and say, hey, we can split the 30 grand that I'm about to get. You just, maybe put a couple on the ground.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Things like that. So that's mainly integrity. When you hitting your wife or your girlfriend, catching some weed or whatever, some drugs or whatever. That's more of a moral issue for the league. They're willing to deal with that because they can run amoral people out of the league. But integrity, you don't know how far that'll go. Amoral issue will be just you. Like Ray Rice, that was just him. But integrity, you don't know how many people can be involved in a potential gambling ring. Like I said, like I just threw out a random number, 30,000. It could be, 10 million between 5 guys. If you stack it up, if you put the money up right, and and know what you're betting. So that's what that is. It's integrity.
Okay, I like the integrity. I think a better word for it is money and bottom line.
Okay, I'll take yeah.
Okay.
Bottom money, bottom line.
I think that the NFL can see how this can affect them financially, and they need to put players on notice that hey, these are the games that we are not about to play. You can do what you want to do off the field, but when you place bets that could possibly affect our money, because you do have the inside track to your teammates, and you do have the inside track to the inner workings of your team for you to bet on your team even though you're not on the field. Much like the Pete Rose situation, means that you have intel that everybody else doesn't have, and you can flip that, like you said, if you know what you're doing, you could flip that into some big money that could be taken away from the bottom line of the NFL.
Yes, or to a better point, better example, more germane to the barbershop, Michael Jordan. Let's be honest. I mean, he wasn't officially suspended, but if you kind of pay attention to what was going on, he more likely was probably told by the league, like, hey man, just fall back for a minute, let some of this smoke clear,
right?
and then you come back.
That was a business decision, though. That was a business
it was
decision
business.
because if you suspend Michael Jordan for gambling, that's not good business for the NBA. Suspending your cash cow is not good.
Oh, and it was well known. That's funny because it was well known that David Stern, who was the NBA commissioner at the time, he chastised, or at least had an issue with Bart Giamatti, the baseball commissioner at the time, who suspended Pete Rose, Bandy.
Right.
David Stern allegedly said something to the effect of, "You don't discipline stars. Why would you do that to him?" And so Michael Jordan, he didn't discipline him, let him kind of walk away and come back when the smoke was ready. But I think he had about a month before the playoffs when he came back that year, and he just wasn't ready. Probably would have won another title. He just wasn't ready.
Yeah.
His body physically wasn't ready. So.
But you talk about the league. You talk about the league's money being affected. I would also throw in there, what about Las Vegas? What about those companies that set the money lines and, set the spreads and the parlays and stuff like that? I would imagine that kind of an institution in Las Vegas has the power to go to the NFL and say, hey, you got players gambling on games? Like, I would imagine they have that kind of power.
I mean, gambling is big business. I mean, even before 2018, before the Supreme Court lifted the ban off of it, lifted the grandfather clause on, just only made it legal in Nevada. Even before that, people would take trips, and some people would, make phone calls, to people, in Las Vegas, things like that. Gambling is huge business, and let's be honest. I mean, you don't want people not knowing that the games, or thinking that the games are fixed, by players or anybody. So I mean, let's be honest. We're all around the same age. Then you kind of look at wrestling a little different once you realize it was fake.
It was fake, right?
Yeah,
right.
Once you realize that Hulk Hogan really didn't slam Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant kind of jumped on him and kind of helped him. It's just, just kind of had lost his luster for a while after you turned a certain age. And when you
that's when I officially stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah,
I was about 8-9 years old. That's exactly when I stopped.
That will kill the league if they found out that games are being tampered with, and players aren't giving their all, or things like that. It almost killed baseball. Luckily, Babe Ruth comes along and kind of saves the sport for baseball. So like gambling, I mean, it's been a part of American lore for centuries. It's kind of now becoming more mainstream, but because back in the day it was kind of like almost a sin, a cultural sin, if not even religious on some levels. But just a culture like, you're a gambler. What's wrong with you? But like I said, now, weed out's legal everywhere. Gambling's about to be legal everywhere. So everything changing.
Yeah, I mean, it's smart. I mean, with some of these states that have already brought it into their state to gamble, I think it's a smart move. I mean, it brings the state revenue, and quite frankly, here in Maryland, where it's a little iffy when it comes to the to the gambling stuff. I think they could do a lot more, bring in a lot more casinos than what we already have here, and some of that money, going into the city and going to the right things, education, books, computers, laptops, Chromebooks. We still get a lot of complaints about the lack of those items because money gets mismanaged. You know what I mean?
Well, think about it like this. Baltimore, the nearest big city is Atlantic City, New Jersey, right? 90 minutes away?
The biggest city? I'd say Philadelphia is the biggest.
City. Okay, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. They have legal sports betting there in Pennsylvania, right?
I believe so,
Just think of all that money that would stay in Maryland, in Baltimore, in Randallstown, Silver Spring, wherever, as opposed to going to Philadelphia or even going to Atlantic City, or if they're feeling courageous, driving all the way up to 95 to New York.
Yep.
Where it's legal at, New Jersey. So, I did interview on my show about a year and a half ago with an Ohio legislator who was pro sports betting, and long story short, she was telling us about all the what do you call that, residual uh, finances that the state of Ohio was losing just to the state of Indiana, just Cincinnati, in our nearest state, Indiana, a little small town, Lawrenceburg, Indiana. You never heard of that. And Indianapolis is 90 minutes away, but so we would have to go to Lawrenceburg, and she was just remarking on all the money, the gas, just the all the different wings and beers and all the taxes that Ohio was losing by not having sports betting at the time.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead, Maestro.
All right, so I want to get back to how I can make some money in sports betting. Maestro, rookie in sports betting. If I said, how much, in your opinion, how much money would I need to do? How much money would I need to put into it? And what would you do if you were me, week one, trying to make some money in sports betting?
Well, obviously, you never wager what you can't handle. Right. You know what I'm saying? You obviously don't want to do that. But basically, I mean, it's we go what's called by units. A unit is 1% of your total rate that you plan on using for gambling. Say, for the football season, you got $500 that you're gonna use for the 17 weeks of the NFL season. 22 weeks if you can consider the playoffs. 1 unit is of $500 is $5. So you can put $5 on each game, but you usually want to put them individually on each game individually. Like you try to do parlays, you can do a parlay where you got 2, 3, 4, up to 10, 12, 15 teams on one ticket, but everything has to hit. One fumble, you're screwed. You know what I'm saying? One fumble, and somebody doesn't, lose or whatever, somebody loses, you're screwed. But so if you put all that on one, so you put that on one game, say, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati for this weekend, you put your money on one game. Usually, especially if you follow the famed Rothstein Sports Investing Show or the Betting Public Show, if you follow our show, usually I'll give you 3. Usually we're going to win 2 out of 3. Sometimes we'll win all 3. Every now and then we might only win 1 out of 3 or none of them. It just, kind of happened. But I'd say over the 4 years that I've been publishing picks, I'm about 61%, which is well above any of those like guys with thick accents, thick East Coast accents, giving picks, that type of stuff. I'm well above those guys, or right with them at the worst.
Okay. So you would say so. So in your example, if I'm $500 for the season, 1%, I'm putting $5 on a. So I want to make it very literal for listeners in case somebody, because if you write and somebody do this, they coming back to your show the next week. So I'm trying to get some listeners to your show the next week.
I appreciate that.
So this week 1, what would you recommend somebody do? In your example, we take $5 on a parlay. What should we be doing this week?
Well, personally, I would tell you don't do a parlay. Don't do it.
Okay.
But because $5 per game is going, it's going to take a while to add up, but it will. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But, $5 parlay, you go out there and put 7 teams on one pick, depending on what the odds for each game is. Normally football, if you just do wins and losses, this team is going to cover the spread or they're not, it goes by minus 110 odds. And the reason that is that the average sports bet is $100. And so it goes on odds of $100. So minus 110 means that you would get minus 110 back if you bet 100, which means you would get 90. You see what I'm saying? You would get 90 back. So it kind of it's based on your odds. You don't want to go out there like college football rather. you'll see a lot of teams with a minus 10,000 odds to win the bet. Alabama, for example, they're going to win that bet, minus 10,000, but you ain't going to make no money. So what's the point?
Right.
And get involved in that one. So that type of game is the one you want to catch when Alabama's weak that week, or they just catch them on an off week. But it's going to take luck. You watch college football. How many games a year is Nick Saban unprepared to go out there and just smoke you by 30?
Yeah.
You
see what I'm saying? So you got to watch. You got to pay attention. It's an investment. You got to have reading comprehension and patience, and you got to be able to analyze statistics.
Right.
Not just game statistics, but like advanced statistics, like yards per carry, things like that. In the NFL, points per possession in basketball. Points per 48, points per half, college basketball, that type of thing. Yeah, that's why
we gonna. Yeah, I'm about to say that sounds really complicated, fam.
It gets. That's why you listen to an expert like me, and I'll do that for you for free. I charge nothing. My show's free. I charge nothing. I just do it for the love, because this was something I picked up. It's something I picked up when I was a college basketball writer. The guy kept calling me, asking me for stuff about the team I was, the beat writer for. And I don't know, just out of blue, I just asked him, like, why do you keep asking me this? And he started explaining it to me. Cause I thought he was, I don't know what I thought about him. I wasn't thinking of sports betting because we were on an East Coast state, and I knew the only place you could do that was Nevada. I'm not thinking, guys are actually going up there every weekend to Nevada to make sports bets. And so he kind of explained it to me, and I was just like, okay, you can make a couple dollars doing this if if you do it right.
I can dig it.
Yeah. Fame. So while you're talking, I just set a FanDuel lineup, right? I invested $1 into a lineup for tonight's game, Bills and Rams. There you go. And it's a 5-player game, so it's five teams. I got Josh Allen as my flex, which means you can get, I think, 1.5 for every point that he scores. And then the rest of my lineup is the Bills defense, Stephon Diggs, Gabriel Davis, and Tyler Higbee. I can't pick all Bills. You got to pick from both squads, otherwise you're not going to be able to lock it in. If you were betting this game on FanDuel tonight, just single game, what would your lineup look like?
Okay, I'll tell you that I'm not that familiar with FanDuel, the daily fantasy wagering, but based on what you told me, I like Tyler Higbee. That's the Rams tight end, right?
Yep.
I like him. I don't know how you score in that, but I do think he'll get you at least one, maybe 2 touchdowns tonight, because the Bills got a couple young corners. One of them's a rookie. One's only like his second year. So the Bills safeties are going to be kind of keeping an eye on them to make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
That's going to leave the tight ends wide open tonight. So I can see Higbee doing some damage. Of course, Diggs is going to do his thing. I can see Allen running one in. And who was the other guy? Oh, Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
That's the Bills' other receiver?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that guy that went crazy in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put no much stock in him. Yeah. You can say it. It's okay. Because that's what I thought. That's what I thought when he said Gabriel Davis. I'm like, Gabriel Davis, that must be one of those little luck things where you just threw that in there. Cause,
right.
So who would you replace him with? From tonight's game, who would you go with?
For both teams?
From both teams, yeah.
The Cooper Kupp.
So I gotta fit Cooper Kupp, Josh Allen, and Stephon Diggs into a lineup where I'm only gonna have.
Maybe I'm not sure how. Look, I don't do FanDuel, so I don't know how that works.
Yeah, it's $60,000 is the value of what your team can be. So the quarterback is always gonna be $16,000-$17,000, and then your best receiver is going to be 14,000-15,000, and then maybe
that's 30.
Right, and so maybe your number 2 receiver is like maybe 11, 12,000, 13,000 in that range. So for me to have both Diggs and Cooper Kupp along with Josh Allen on that roster, I mean, there's 2 spots left.
But why not, as a number 1 receiver, why not Cooper Kupp over Stephon Diggs?
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean if we're
okay, I got an argument over that.
And then going the Rams second receiver, who I'm sure is going to be cheaper. Who's that? Who's the guy?
Who is the Rams second receiver?
He played with Allen Robinson.
That's right.
Allen Robinson.
That's right. Yeah.
Allen Robinson
from the Bears.
Yep.
Yeah, he's with LA now.
I don't care if you go with Kupp or I don't care if you go with Kupp or Diggs, but definitely take Allen Robinson over that other guy, Gabriel Davis.
Right.
Like that's not even Allen Robinson was a number 1 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I would go with the Rams defense just because I think Aaron Donald's going to kind of be on a kill mission this year.
Okay.
I mean, you see, he cracked a couple Bengals with his helmet. The league didn't look good on that. You know, that's the thing with sports betting. You got to pay attention to those type of things. You know, what makes a good story? What are the stories in the league? One of the early stories, they didn't like that with him doing that.
Yeah,
you know, even talking about and
they thought they should have suspended him.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? And people, saying that was an assault. That wasn't even a football play, which it wasn't.
Right.
No,
that was Mason Rudolph all over again.
Exactly, Mason Rudolph and Garrett.
And Garrett, yeah.
So yeah, I would go with the Rams' defense personally. Over the but if I'm not mistaken, Buffalo just got a who they get? What's that guy's name from? Big weird linebacker dude. Yeah. But nah, they still don't have a good as good as defense as the Rams. You're talking about a Hall of Famer and Donald, and then Bobby Wagner, Jalen Ramsey. That's a squad on defense there. That's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I personally took under 52 points. I don't see a lot of points this game.
Right.
Even though it should, I just don't see it. The first game of the year, 2 good defenses. Mm-hmm. Rams gonna be fat and happy. I mean, you a lot of teams are often come back fat and happy after that Super Bowl win. I mean, think about it. In our generation, it was only 2 repeats: the '90s Cowboys and the late '80s Niners. And nobody else repeated.
Wait, the Patriots didn't repeat?
Not in our generation when we were growing up. I mean, that's just recent stuff.
Oh.
But then again, you know what that was behind? What's that? Deflategate, and he got all types of asterisks behind them damn that dynasty he had at the Patriots.
You said the pastries.
That slipped out. I did not mean to say it. I just ate a honey bun, man.
Yeah. So Maestro's starting to sound like he a gambling expert, because what you talking about, taking its receiver out the lineup and putting Cooper Kupp in. So I'm doing what you said, Maestro, right? So Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, Josh Allen, Tyler Higbee, right? So I got this one spot open left, and I only got $6,500 to fill that spot. And ain't nobody on this list that's worth a damn playing at $6,500. Like, I don't know who this receiver is for the Rams. Skowronek? Like who's that cat?
That's that dude that came in after Odell Beckham got hurt.
Oh yeah? Oh, okay.
And he had some possession catches in the Super Bowl. He had some possession catches.
Oh, okay.
Now, is he gonna do anything tonight? Probably not.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I wouldn't bank on it.
I don't know.
I wouldn't bank on it.
I don't know.
But yeah, but that's just so everybody understands how FanDuel works. Like, that's how you gotta, deal with this lineup is that you can have superstars in 3 different spots, but you're gonna have some crummy guys at the bottom of the lineup. So you just gotta balance that thing out.
Right, but then who? I don't want to keep stretching that conversation, but who's the number 2 in Buffalo?
Gabriel Davis.
Gabriel Davis.
Oh, he's the number 2?
3.
Oh, okay.
Who's their tight end?
Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox.
Is he
And
6,500?
Dawson Knox is a good tight end.
Yeah, he's a good tight end. He's $10,000. So I can't.
Name
But
the $6,500 players.
Yeah, I can't put
Name
no.
that-
he
I
just
can't.
said he said it's the dude that possession receiver for the Rams who was in the Super Bowl after Odell Beckham got taken out.
Is he the only
can't,
one?
White
Yeah,
boy. It was
that's
a
the
white
that's
boy.
the yeah that's the like it starts with him, and then it's Atwell, Johnson from Buffalo, Austin from Buffalo. Like I don't know these cats. Like
Whole bunch of no names basically.
yeah, like
Yeah,
these
but-
dudes ain't gonna get
yeah.
burned.
You gotta remember though, the Rams. I mean, okay, after Cup and Allen Robinson gets shut down, somebody that third receiver's got to play in the red zone, and usually he will with Matthew Stafford, who's gonna find you.
So see
You
if I
gotta remember
so
who's
see if I
throwing
take
it.
your word for it, and this happens. I gotta come back on this podcast and give you a shout out, cause you be the prophet right now, if this were to all happen.
And that's all. Just show your love. Show these cats something nice out here. That's all. You know, I don't want nobody. I don't want no bread. You owe me nothing. None of that. Just say, you know, the homie helped me out. That's all.
No doubt, no
Yeah.
doubt. All right,
That's
let's get
what's
to this. Let's get to this. The Bengals,
Okay.
in the Super Bowl run last year, man. You know, y'all finally won some playoff games. Y'all get to the Super Bowl. The city is on fire. It looked like y'all was about to pull it off, and then the refs decided, oh, we ain't throwing no flags yet. Let's start throwing some flags in the game. And y'all ended up on the L side of things.
Right.
Tell me something, man. What's good? What's good this year with the Bengals, man?
Well, I tell you what.
0-1.
City is on, the city's not only on fire. I mean, we can't wait till Sunday at 1:00. You know, to tee it off this year. Yeah, it was just a different energy. I mean, this is really a baseball town. You know, we love our Reds here. You know, they've got, the Reds are kind of like a historic baseball franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Reds, Bengals not so much in the NFL. So we've always kind of leaned toward baseball. So, but when the Bengals, anybody's city, when your NFL team is hot, everybody pays attention.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so with the Bengals doing that, it was a different energy last year than we're used to having. Especially after that first playoff win against the Raiders at home. Because after watching that Marvin Lewis 5 years in a row, it was like, damn. You know what I'm saying? And 5 years in a row, I think 7 out of 11 years, something like that. It was just like, damn. And then he comes through, wins. Yeah, so we're excited. Can't wait till Monday. But it just happens to be our big brother, brutal big brother, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who's always
Yes,
fucking
sir.
with. Excuse me. We still
Yes,
out of
sir.
cuss on the
Nah,
show?
you can cuss. Go ahead, man.
Yeah,
Man,
Steelers always
please.
been fucking with us. For all my life, always hurting somebody.
That's
You
the
heard
fame I
that-
know.
You heard Carson Palmer. You took out Burfict. That taking out Burfict made what's his name, Juju Smith, made him a household name, and dude got paid just off of that. But
Yeah.
I digress.
Yeah. That's no worries. He's gone now. We ain't worried about that.
Yeah.
He's gone
Speaking
now.
of which, who y'all throwing to out there? That's gonna be a problem.
Hey, nah, you hold on now. Now we ain't quite Chase Higgins and Boyd, but George Pickens, I'm trying to tell you, George Pickens gonna be one of them receivers. This
Okay.
year.
Okay,
This year,
okay.
he's gonna be one of them receivers. Look, Deontay Johnson is still our best route runner. He's still our best receiver right now. But George Pickens is coming, and Claypool, I'm just gonna wait and see. Because if that's the only person that I feel like is letting me down right now, he's too big, he's too fast to be having all this soft. He go up in there soft, like he don't really want to catch his combatter. He ain't really good with combat catches. You know, like he got some growing up to do. So Claypool is really the only receiver I'm concerned about. But I'm confident that Pickens is going to come in this year and be and immediately contribute in a like a very, like some people say he was the best receiver in the draft outside of, he was just having whatever issues he was having at Georgia. I don't know, but whatever issues they said he was having at Georgia, a lot of people said talent-wise George Pickens was the best dude in the draft, or could have been. So and just watching him in training camp, watching him in a couple of preseason games, he running the routes, he making the catches, he getting his little highlights with the pushing cornerbacks down on running plays, like he doing all the things that scream to me Pittsburgh wide receiver.
Two things about that. First, you were talking about Claypool, and that's the thing about sports betting. If you do it, regularly, you don't just look at players' stats that make them good. You look at them like, who usually makes me money?
Mm-hmm.
Claypool makes me money because when you bet against him, you bet for him for a touchdown. He usually has good odds. Especially for 2 touchdowns. I caught him once last year for 2 touchdowns, and it was like plus 1,100, which means if you bet $100, you'll get 1,100.
Yeah.
And I didn't bet 100, but I got a nice little piece back off of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
It was nice. And the thing is, you talk about Pickett. As a Bengals fan, I can honestly say and admit anybody Pittsburgh drafts or signs in free agent scares me because they rarely missed. They rarely miss Pittsburgh.
At wide receiver, yeah, for sure.
Wide receiver. You haven't had to draft a quarterback in 15 years, but you didn't miss because when you got one.
Yeah.
You got Helmer Hall of Famer. You drafted what's his name? Polynesian cat. From USC.
Palomalu.
Yeah, Palomalu.
Palomalu.
Yes, Troy Polamalu. Didn't miss on him. 15 years, fucking us up. You see what I'm saying? Pittsburgh rarely misses, and now you.
Oh, don't worry. No, his name is Minkah Fitzpatrick.
Minkah Fitzpatrick too. You see what I'm saying? Another guy's gonna be around 15 years, destroying the Bengals. Now you've got Mitchell Trubisky as your quarterback. Now I heard that the Pittsburgh quarterback room was not very strong this year. But then again, I just saw a quote from your coach, Tomlin, saying that, reciting Trubisky's stats, that, he's been to the playoffs 2 out of 4 years as a starter, and he's got a winning record in the NFL, and that's from the Bears. So it's like, a lot of the Chicago faithful wanted Trubisky to stay. So now that he's in Pittsburgh in my division, it's scary because Tomlin seems to like him.
Wait, you scared? Wait, hold up. What the hell? Hold up. You telling me you scared of Mitchell Trubisky in the AFC North? Is that what I heard you just say?
Let me put it to you this way, Big Trey. Listen, if Mitchell Trubisky was wearing purple and white in Baltimore, I wouldn't be worried about it. But he's wearing black and gold. That's a different kind of big brother. Pittsburgh's a different kind of big brother than Baltimore.
When it comes to what though? You just talking rivalry stuff, right?
Oh my!
You just talking
pedigree. You know what's happening, Trey.
You just talking rivalry.
Come on, bro.
We're
talking about pedigree, Trey.
About the hierarchy of the AFC North.
The hierarchy of the AFC North.
Yes,
Wait. What are we talking about?
Go ahead.
The hierarchy of the AFC North? Oh, wait, are we acting like this is the AFC East? Are we acting like this is the AFC East in the last 20 years? Is that what we're acting like now?
If the AFC North was that show, the white men that made America, the AFC North, Pittsburgh would be Pittsburgh would be JP Morgan.
Thank you.
Baltimore would be
Thank you. Trey, you know that, bro.
Why y'all acting like these teams are so far apart from each other? Like that's wild.
It's not about that's not what I'm saying.
Pittsburgh would be Rockefeller.
I mean, if you're talking history, and being around for so many years, you got me there. But if you're talking competition year in, year out, competitiveness, These two organizations are on that same
in the
level.
loop. Pittsburgh is even in the loop, even when we got a trash team. Trey, come on, Trey. We in the loop even when we a trash team.
I feared
Same here.
only.
Tomlin hasn't had a losing season. Y'all was in the loop last year.
Well, I mean, how often are we having a losing season? Go back 15 years and tell me how many times we had a season like last year.
When is the last time Pittsburgh had a losing season?
2003. But my question is, go back in the last 15 years and tell me the last time the Ravens had a season like they had last year. How many times have they had a season like that? They rarely do. They rarely do.
Pittsburgh hasn't had it, is what I'm saying.
Okay, but you're acting like it's a big gap. That's not a big gap,
Nobody
bruh.
said anything about a gap. All he did was make a statement is that Pittsburgh's the big brother. That's all he said. Ain't nobody said about how big the gap was.
Right. But Baltimore, you're the very, 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 very successful younger brother. But you're not big,
just
bro.
not the big.
We're a younger team. We're a younger franchise. I'll accept that.
I don't care why.
I'll accept that. Huh?
The truth is the truth, Trey. I don't care why the truth is the truth. The truth is
but
the truth.
I just said, that we're the younger franchise. I didn't give no reasoning behind that.
Okay.
I didn't give no reasoning behind that.
But even if you talk about from when Baltimore was incepted, in Baltimore Ravens inception,
right?
If you talk about Pittsburgh's pedigree from the time y'all started in '96,
right?
He would still be the big brother.
We have the same we have the same amount of Super Bowl championships from 1996 all the way until now.
All right, bro. All I could tell you.
That's a fact. That's a fact. This ain't no hyperbole. This ain't no hyperbole, bro. This is facts.
Hyperbole, but
it's not.
It's not a. Nobody's. That don't.
Pittsburgh was ran by Ray Lewis.
What's that now?
Pittsburgh,
Baltimore
was run by Ray Lewis, and up until his last 3 years playing, that was the only time I was afraid of watching Baltimore play my Bengals.
Mm-hmm.
Never before, and never since. Pittsburgh, I've always been leery of them because I know they'll do dirty shit. Hines Ward, from Hines Ward to the guys in twisting Ken Anderson's neck, everything. Exactly. You see what I'm saying? All that. Mm-hmm. Pittsburgh's just a different animal. And they've always been. How you
felt when Steve Smith stiff-armed Pac-Man Jones for that touchdown years ago? How you feel about that?
I was never really a big Adam Jones fan like that. I didn't really care like that.
I mean,
hell out of here, yo. Oh,
nah, but we talk about individual players.
Hold on, fam. Because I hate when Trey do this, though. So you're comparing Steve Smith, stiff arming Pac-Man Jones to Kimo Van Oelhoffen possibly ending Carson Palmer's career?
No, that wasn't. I wasn't trying to make a comparison. I was just BSing with him.
All right. Okay. I just want to be
clear.
I
was not making a comparison.
Okay. Because you can't even compare that to Hines Ward knocking Burfict down.
Oh
no, that was your boy Juju.
Nah.
Keith. I'm sorry. I meant Keith Rivers though, but I meant Keith Rivers.
Right. Exactly. That's what that was. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that you. I'm just making sure that you understand that your middle brother child moments ain't as big as big brother moments.
No. Oh my God, this dude's so full of himself.
All right, bro. I'm no. When the facts are the facts, Trey. All I'm saying is
the facts are we got 2 Super Bowls since 1996. The Pittsburgh Steelers since 1996 have 2 Super Bowls.
Still not the big dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, still not the big dogs. And y'all just not the big dogs. That's like.
Is it because y'all want to be the Patriots? Is that it?
We don't want to be the Patriots. We still got more rings than the Patriots.
No, it's because Baltimore is kind of like Arnold Jackson. You were kind of adopted. You know what I'm saying? You're from Cleveland.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Baltimore. You were adopted. You're Arnold and Willis. You're not normal. You're not natural. Like Lionel Jefferson. You understand? You're not natural to the air. You understand?
Yeah.
Good God,
I mean, I'll give you another example, Trey. In the NFC East,
Yep.
The Cowboys are the big dogs in the NFC East. Like it, hate it, love it, however you feel. But Philly got the most recent Super Bowl. They got the most recent success.
Okay.
Right, but we know the Cowboys are the big dogs, and they're going to be the
Now,
big dogs
are you basing that off of because they're the Cowboys, or are you basing that off of recent success?
Again,
I'm basing
Cowboys
it because they're
different.
The Cowboys
animals.
are always going to be the Cowboys. The Patriots, well, I don't know about the Patriots right now, but the Steelers have always been the Steelers. Unless you want to talk about the run in the 80s, but outside of that, they've always been the Steelers.
Okay. Because I think we're
That's all
I think we're talking about two. I mean, we know the Cowboys ain't been to the Super Bowl in 20-something years,
but they're still the big dogs,
right? And but that's
East.
why I'm asking: are you saying that because they're America's team that they're the big boys? Because that's the only criteria I can go off of.
Perception-wise, I'm saying it because perception-wise, even if the team has done better than the other team, and we can't even say that about Pittsburgh and Baltimore. But I just, even if the Eagles have done better, like in the past 20 years, the Eagles have done better than the Cowboys as a team,
right?
But the Cowboys is still the
right, and the Giants got 2 Super Bowls in the last 20 years.
Cowboys still the big dogs. Cowboys still the big dogs of the East.
Let me help you, Trey. If just because you're the little brother doesn't mean you will always be little brother just because you're younger. You can usurp them if you're that dynamic. Serena Williams usurped her older sister. Pedro Martinez usurped his older brother, Ramon Martinez. But you gotta be dynamic. You haven't been dynamic in that enough, Baltimore. Just haven't been, or you haven't been dominant enough, long enough. But there's I think he said it best. Not necessarily a big gap, but there is a significant, an obvious gap. And I'd say that Pittsburgh, like I said, is the older brother.
Well, I'll accept that. You said an obvious gap. I'll accept that. When it comes to drafting wide receivers, I'll accept that. Because that's one.
Our defense.
Because that's
come on.
What?
Come on.
What?
Our defense as well.
That's
every 3-5 years, Pittsburgh's gonna come with a guy who's gonna give you 15 or more sacks. Whether it's Watt, Porter, Harrison, they're always gonna have an iconic defensive player. You just had 2 for 15 years.
Okay. So we're talking about we're talking about like superstar guys on defense. Okay.
I mean, it's the total package. We talked about pedigree. We talked about having superstar players. We talked about wins. We talked about Super Bowls, even though y'all had the same amount of Super Bowls. But y'all don't have responses for the other things. The only response you have in rebuttal is that we have the same number of Super Bowls, but you don't have a response
for
the fact that we haven't had.
You mentioned wins.
We haven't had a losing, sir. Right, but your response doesn't match our response. We haven't had a losing season in 20 years, almost.
Dang, I mean, if that's the case, y'all might as well just be the best team in the league then. Because what other teams can top that?
Your coach, Jim Harbaugh, even said as
what other team come close to that, Maestro?
Nobody, but that don't mean we the best. What you're doing is trying to get off the fact that we the big brothers and you're trying to up.
Then say you're the big brother in the league. Go ahead and say you're the big brother in the league.
I mean, we is big brothers in the league, but we're talking about the North. So don't try to
the big brother in the league.
Middle child, huh?
No, go ahead and say that you're the big brother in the league.
Fine, but when you look at it statistically, we are though. But when you look at that, if you want to go there too, when you look at it statistically, we're there too. We right there with Green Bay. We right there with New England. If you want to do that, but the conversation was
San Francisco,
and you're seeming to not want to accept this conversation. I feel like me and you shouldn't be in rivalry right now. Me and Fame should be in rivalry right now because we get ready to play on Sunday. But here you go once again. You know what? I'm sorry, Fame. You did nothing to deserve this. You did nothing to deserve this. But this is Trey. Because we've been, for the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've been having conversations about Ravens fans. And here Trey is rearing his ugly head as a Ravens fan with these little narratives that he try to weave and then spin when he don't got the answer for what he want to have a conversation about. Just acknowledge.
No, because people downplay the team like we a poverty franchise. Like that's like
nobody said that.
Nobody
said that.
We said you're the very successful younger brother.
Nobody said that, Trey. Not a single soul said that. All we said is Pittsburgh is the big brothers. And you agree with that.
Okay.
See, right now, Trey, you acting like D on what's happening.
You being one of those Ravens fans. I'm telling you. And you better chop it up because you being one of them Ravens fans right now.
Oh, word?
That's what you just did.
Word?
That's what you just did.
Yeah, look, go ahead, man. Y'all team, both y'all teams got a game on Sunday, man. Y'all go ahead, man. Y'all go ahead, bro. Hey, I'm about to get this. Man. I'm about to get this cough again, yo. I'm gonna let you take the show over, man. I'm about to go back and be sick again, man. Go ahead, yo.
You's a spiteful one, boy. You's a spiteful one.
Go ahead,
Same. Yo. Look, man. I'm not gonna be objective about this. We smoking y'all on Sunday in Cincinnati. I'm not being objective about it at all. We're winning. I ain't gonna say smoke. We ain't gonna smoke y'all. I ain't gonna say that because that's I don't believe that in real life.
Wait, why you walking that back though?
All right, you right, because I just said I'm not being objective. I got us winning. You right. You see how fast I changed up when you made me wrong?
I got you. Go ahead.
24-10 Pittsburgh Sunday. That's my call.
Oh, God dang. I'm gonna tell you I'm here for sports betting. If Pittsburgh wins right now they are a 7-point underdog. 6.5 underdog. Pittsburgh is. They win by 14 points, and you bet that Pittsburgh to win by 14 points, that'll probably be, a good. Let's just say that low number we gave you, $5. That would probably win you about $400 or $500. That bet alone.
Woo!
Yeah, because would be that big. Yeah, if it would even let you tease it that much, that's called a tease, a reverse tease. That you're taking one team that's supposed to be the underdog and saying not only are they going to not be the favorite, they're going to blow them out. It's called a reverse tease, a super tease, and that would get you some good bread if that happened. But it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Fame, because I'm not liking this, gambling expert talk right now. Like,
this is talk. This is his show. This is y'all show. I'm gonna let him talk his shit. He gonna talk his shit, but they gonna get whooped. Because listen, I'll be the first to admit, I was not that high on the Bengals last year. I'm not a big fan of the coach. I just thought the Bengals kind of last year caught lightning in a bottle.
Do you still feel that way?
That's what I think
about
too.
The coach.
Yes, definitely. I'm not sold on it yet. He's gonna have to do something significant this year for me to be sold out on it.
Win the Super Bowl, basically.
Do the same thing. At least go back and make another deep run.
Because what else is there? What else is there? They got to the bowl last year. They just didn't win it.
Well, no, I think consistency. I think consistency would be second round in the playoffs. If they are tough out in the second round of the playoffs, I would say okay, Cincinnati might have it together right now.
Exactly. Like that just felt like lightning in a bottle for some reason. It's like that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100% because Joe Burrow got hit way too much.
He got hit too much. I mean, we upgraded the line, got a couple linemen, and and dude's supposed to have a great offensive package. Zach Taylor, the head coach. I mean, again, he calls him. I don't know a grown man. I'm almost 50. I've never had a supervisor named Zach or Zachary in my life. I don't think I can follow a guy named Zach. I mean, that's just me, though. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just me, though. I've had plenty of Treys. Guys that would call themselves Trey or whatever. Not necessarily Maestro, but I get that. But Zachary, never in my life have I ever been led by a guy named Zachary. And so that's why I just don't feel him. There's just something that Mike Tomlin,
no, I feel you.
I see him. That is a coach. That is a leader of men. You see what I'm saying? I see him. Even Harbaugh, the Rams coach, same thing. Or the Raiders or Ravens coach, same thing. I see a leader of men, two different styles between Harbaugh and Tomlin, but I can see them leading men. I just don't see that in Zach or Zachary, the Bengals coach. I just don't see it. But you know, they have a great nucleus of young, talented players. You know, Mixon, T. Higgins, and Jamar Chase, and the tight end is supposed to be that we replaced with from, I forget where he's from, but he's a free agent. I think he's from Atlanta. Free agent tight end. He's supposed to be solid. Yeah, it's just the talent is there, but last year it just seemed like it would be more of an outlier than it would be the standard of this coach. But we're gonna see starting this year. We're gonna see starting this year.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
And just so you know, I'm sorry, guys. Maestro, Bengals being a 6.5 point favorite. The Bengals are going to win. I'm going to say by about 4.5 or more.
4.5.
I don't think they're going to win by a whole touchdown, just because, you know, Pittsburgh is like that kind of jinx to us. You know, that big brother, you have to respect him. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, your older brother, you know, you're 6 years old, he's 10. You go up and, you know, punch him and run. You better make sure mom is around, because if he ain't around, he's gonna get out on you. You see what I'm saying? So you got to make sure some other adults are around or whatever. Pittsburgh has just always been that problem for us. You know, no matter what. Like I said, even in the playoffs, Carson Palmer game, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Something always afflicted happens with Pittsburgh, and that's what scares me with Game 1.
Go ahead, Trey.
Oh, I was just listening. I was just listening, but hey, you could get up on out of here, Fame.
Oh, okay.
You know,
plug your show, man. Plug your show, man.
Yeah. Go ahead and plug
he
your
all
show.
in his feelings. That's the most hold on, fam. I gotta get him one more time.
Wait,
That's
what?
the most unprofessional sign off I done ever heard in my life. Right now. I'ma say you can get up out of here now.
You ain't gotta go do your show, but you get the fuck up on this one.
Hey, that's a part of the act, though. But
I got you, baby. I got you. I appreciate it. Hey, but you can catch me on Spotify, Anchor.fm, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts every Thursday through Monday morning. The Fame Rothstein Sports Investing Show, FAME Rothstein, or ROTHSTEIN Sports Investing Show, and Saturdays and Sundays on YouTube, the Betting Public Sports Show. Please subscribe to it. The Betting Public Sports Show. I give you at least 3 picks each day. Sometimes as many as 5 or 6, but at least 3. Hopefully, you know, because the theory is, if I give you an odd number, you should win. You should still come out as a profit if you bet them each individually for the same amount. Unless I tell you, put a little more on this one, because they're gonna smoke them. The Green Bay game. I think Green Bay is gonna get cracked by Minnesota this weekend, and Green Bay's the favorite. I think Minnesota's gonna crack them.
Yeah.
Something bad.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, those week 1 matchups is always like a coin flip, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think, I'll give you another game. I think the Giants are going to beat the Titans in Nashville Sunday afternoon. And we know what the Giants are. Like, it's so many questions around them, and we know what the expectation of the Titans are, but I got a feeling New York's going to win.
I keep hearing that. I keep hearing that, and I don't doubt it. I want to see how Derrick Henry comes back. I gotta see how he comes back. You know, a back with his knee. I know he came back in the playoffs, and the Bengals just shut him down. He did nothing.
Yeah.
But like I said, was he hurt, or was that the Bengals that caught lightning, and just everything was clicking?
Oh, he was definitely hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, so we got to see how hurt was he. You know, AD came back, didn't lose much. Adrian Peterson, you know, when he was out for with knee injuries. This cat, you know, big back, we'll see.
Yeah.
For
All
sure.
right. That's what's up.
Sure.
That's what's up. Hey, Fame, man.
Hey,
Appreciate
fam,
you joining in,
appreciate
man.
you, bro.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Anytime, just hit me up. You know how to hit me up, and I'm on.
Hey, you might be on here
That's
later
it.
this football season, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. Be safe, y'all.
Yeah, you too, man.
I be safe, bro.
Be safe in them
All right.
streets, man.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. It's the homie Fame Rothstein right there. Y'all can check him out on his YouTube channel, the Betting Sports Show. And you can follow him right there on YouTube and all that good stuff. So, shout out to the homie right there for coming in, man. Hey, you want to get into these predictions real quick?
I want to make some predictions.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I want to do.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah, let's. I guess where you want to start with the NFC East. We can start there.
Let's do that.
Yeah. I think you and I are gonna agree with this one. I think the Eagles win the division this year.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%.
Yep. The North. Where you at with
No,
the
I was
North?
just with the North.
Mm-hmm.
Look, man, it's going to be the Packers. They ain't know what it's like. I said, I know on paper the Vikings have the better team.
Mm-hmm.
I know this, but I got the Packers. I'm in the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. Now playoffs a whole different story, but in the regular season, Aaron Rodgers is still Aaron Rodgers. I don't think he's going to lose that much of a step, even though he's missing a lot of weapons at a receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's just going to make some stars out of some young lesser talent.
Yeah, I think two things could be true at the same time. Aaron Rodgers is going to get that receiving core, to be the best it can be. He's going to get them receivers straight. At the same time, though, I think Minnesota is going to win the NFC North this season. They get Zadarius Smith on that roster after, the little fallout with the Packers happened, and even we almost tried to bring him back, and that didn't even work out. So you got him, you got a healthy defense with Minnesota. Kirk Cousins can throw the football, and he's got a couple weapons. I mean, Justin Jefferson's probably going to be a top 5 receiver this year, and Dalvin Cook's going to come back healthy. So give me Minnesota this year.
Okay.
I'm tired of Aaron Rodgers, to be quite honest with you.
I agree with you there. Though.
The South. Where we at with the South?
The South, Tampa Bay.
Tampa. I don't want it to be Tampa Bay, but I have a feeling that it's gonna be the Bucks. But I think New Orleans is gonna be not too far behind them, like they've been for the last couple seasons. But yeah, give me the Bucks in that division. Where you at out west?
Out west, Rams. I was trying to remember everybody who was there. Rams. Rams. I don't believe that. I think the Cardinals going to take a step back. Seattle for obvious reasons. And the 49ers, why I think they'll be probably a playoff team, maybe a playoff team. They won't be. Give me the Rams.
I'm going to go 49ers to win the division. I just think there's something with Trey Lance there. I don't want to fall in love too deeply with what we saw.
I was going to say, what did he do? What did he do last year that makes y'all that? Because you're not the only person that said it. And to add to it, we are on the fantasy team with Jelani, and shout out Jelani, and I got Trey Lance, and his projections are like really really high, and
didn't know that.
I just
okay.
Yeah, like his projections are really high. Like maybe I didn't watch enough of him last year when he was in, but I didn't.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of him last year. I watched a little bit of him last year.
Why do you think Trey Lance?
Yeah,
why do you think Trey Lance is?
Well, because I think he brings a different element. Well, he does bring a different element to the quarterback position than Jimmy Garoppolo does. Trey Lance can not only throw, but he can escape the pocket, stronger arm, and and I think Kyle Shanahan is going to design some plays for this guy. and you get Debo on that contract, so now that dude's happy. You know what Shanahan can do with the running backs. It don't matter who it is. That running game is going to be on point. That offense has got potential to be dangerous this year. If things fall right and everybody's healthy and all that stuff, and Trey Lance is the quarterback. Like, there can't be no we're going to take him out, put Jimmy G, because he's not doing so well. Like, none of that stuff. Like, I don't believe any of that's going to happen. I think Trey Lance doesn't look back. He puts a stranglehold on the quarterback position, and I think they're going to be good for it. So that's why I got the Niners winning the West.
Okay.
Who your wild cards in the NFC?
Wild cards. 49ers are a wild card. I don't know why I said it like a West Coast nigga just now. Minnesota is a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
I'm torn between the Saints and the Cowboys. For the sake of, I'm gonna give it to the Cowboys and say that the Saints missed the playoffs.
Okay.
That doesn't feel right. That doesn't feel 100% right.
I think
So
if there's
switch it. I say the Saints make it. I'm gonna switch that. I say the Saints.
I was gonna say, I think if there's a big knock on the Saints, it's gonna be what the offense does without Sean Payton not being there anymore.
Right.
I think that's like.
But I am concerned about. But on the Cowboys side, is CeeDee Lamb ready to be a number one?
Yeah.
The offensive line, I don't know. I mean, they say Zeke is back, but is he really back?
Yeah.
The defense. Trayvon Diggs, look, he got a lot of interceptions last year, but a lot of people still threw his way. Is he really a shutdown cornerback? I don't know that I believe that, and I remember being asked that last season, and I said no, he's not a shutdown corner at all. And he's not, and I stood to be correct. Like I was right. So I don't think that he's a shutdown corner. I think the best part of that defense is Michael Parsons. Unfortunately, he would have to do a whole lot to make that defense. That's another defense. Like they're ranked in fantasy. They're ranked like number 3 defense projection wise.
Yeah, I mean, it's based off of what they did last year. Not only did he have the interceptions by Trayvon Diggs, but that defense as a whole had the most turnovers. They created the more turnovers than anybody, and I don't think anyone this year expects them to duplicate what they did in that department last year.
I don't.
So I think they take a step back. As a matter of fact, I'll kind of segue. I think the Cowboys missed the playoffs. Like I just and I hate that because I like Dak Prescott, but I for some reason it's the Cowboys. They do this thing every other year where they're good, they're great, and then they have that one year where it just falls apart. So no, I don't have Dallas in the playoffs this year. I do have as a wild card Green Bay. I do have Arizona as a wild card. I think they're the third wild card in that conference. I don't think they're going to be any better than what they were last year. If anything, they take a slight step back. And I got the Saints as a wild card.
So you got the Rams not making the playoffs?
That's right, sir.
Wow.
That's right, bro. You win that Super Bowl. You finally get the monkey off your back. I don't know how the players are celebrated, but I'm gonna go Stephen A. I'm gonna go Stephen A. on you here. You're in LA, and it's a lot of celebrating to do in LA.
Yeah. I mean, but that happened. That was what 6 months ago though.
Yeah, it was.
I hear you.
Here's the question mark. Here's the question marks. They didn't re-sign Odell Beckham yet. And that doesn't mean that they don't have the chance to do so.
Because they definitely signed Allen Robinson, and I'm not saying Allen Robinson is as good as Odell Beckham, but Allen Robinson is certainly more healthier.
Right. So you have that. Then Stafford gets this offseason surgery. He's a year older, and we're going to see how that connection between him and Kupp go this year. I mean, Cooper Kupp, kind of broke out last year. We always knew he was a good receiver, but he really, really broke out last year. I don't know that he can duplicate that this season.
Well, he don't have to do, but he's not going to win the Triple Crown this year. We know he ain't going to do that.
Well, I'm not talking about Triple Crown. I'm really just talking about just leading in yards, reception yards is what I'm talking about.
I think a 90 catch, 1250 and 9 touchdowns is a just fine season for Cooper Kupp for that and for the progression of that team.
Mm-hmm. Well, we'll see. But you win the Super Bowl. We've seen teams kind of fade off after that 1 year.
Rams out the playoffs. Wow.
We've seen it, and and look, I'm gonna admit this is a wild prediction. I don't know if anyone predicted that they would leave the Rams out the playoffs. Every prediction I've heard so far has the Rams in the playoffs,
especially for Arizona.
Yeah.
Especially off the rim for Arizona, because we don't know. Look, Kyler Murray has not, I like Kyler Murray. Don't get it twisted. He deserves his money, all those things.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's time to do it on the field, and he ain't done it on the field yet.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a fact.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this: he hasn't done it when he needs to. Well, I think we're kind of saying the same thing. He has to do it at the end of the year. You got to close. You got to close the season out, on fire. You can't just start off hot and then you just fizzle down a stretch, and then you have one of the most terrible playoff games ever. You can't have that. So yeah, he's gotta have a full season where he's got to be a league MVP candidate for the Cardinals to be a playoff team. He's got to play that kind of ball. You can't. Last 4 or 5 weeks of the year, you got to be playing your best ball.
Yeah.
And I still don't think they're gonna win the West.
Yeah. Yep. AFC.
I think we both agree. Buffalo wins the East, right?
Yep. 100%. Okay.
No doubt.
Not gonna talk about there.
Where you at with the South?
The South, which consists of the Titans, the Colts, the Jacksonville Jaguars, and Houston Texans, who I'm excluding from this conversation. I'm going to go with the Colts this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you with Indianapolis. I thought about it, and when they had acquired Matt Ryan in the trade, I said, you know what? That actually might work with the roster that they have.
With their running game.
In Indianapolis, with the running game, with the offensive line, and the defense, being, top, 12, top 13.
Stephon Gilmore is their number one cornerback right now.
Yeah, that is a good fit for Matt Ryan. And I know they've gone through multiple quarterbacks in the last 5 years, but I think this will be a fresh start for him, and I see the Titans taking a step back. I'm sorry, me and the homeboy Mike Patton stay going back and forth over this, but I still think that we're gonna see Malik Willis on the field this year at some point. I'm sorry, and I get that he's there. He sees what's going on in practice and all that stuff, and he the dude. All praise is due, but I just don't see.
Hey man, you ain't gotta apologize, bruh.
I just don't see. I'm sorry. I don't see it. I don't see Tannehill surviving this season. At some point, Malik Willis is going to take the field.
Yeah, I would like to see Malik Willis, take the field. But the way I think about it is that Tannehill doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And Derrick Henry, if he's any semblance of what he was last year, meaning if he's top 5 running the ball this year, if he's that, Titans are going to win games.
Yeah.
Now I don't think they're gonna, like I said, I don't think they're gonna win the division. I mean, the division, but they will be winning games. So I think
that AJ Brown trade, I think,
that's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt.
Like who's their number 1? Who's their number 1?
Robert Woods.
That's right. And he's coming off an injury, right?
I've been trying to trade Robert Woods on my league in our league so bad. I've been trying to trade him.
Well, don't trade him this week. They're playing the Giants.
Nah, I want to trade him, but because my receiver core is strong. So
yeah. What do you think about the West?
The West, Chiefs, Broncos, Raiders, Chargers.
Fuck. The Chargers.
I'm gonna say the Chargers. Fuck it. LA Chargers are winning the division. They've made the necessary adjustments in defense and acquisition defense wise. Austin Eckler is a top 10 running back statistically, at least. And Herbert is Herbert, man. I don't think Herbert. I mean, this is just another year in this whole quarterback. That class of quarterbacks that year.
Yeah.
Where these Bama's gonna have to scrap, and Herbert has been scrapping. I think they win a division this year. I think Mahomes is still gonna be Mahomes.
Yeah.
And I even like Denver's lineup with Russell Wilson there. But I think Tyreek Hill is that X factor that takes the Chiefs out of the division, winning the division.
Yeah.
And I think right now Justin Herbert is the young. This sounds blasphemous, and so I'm not gonna say it. But Justin Herbert is the man right now.
Justin Herbert is the man. Okay.
Right, but
okay.
The blasphemous statement that I was about to make is that he's better than Patrick Mahomes, and that's not true. So I'm not going to say that.
Okay. I'm glad you didn't say that, because we really was going to have some problems on this platform. But
that's just not the truth. Yeah, he's not better than Mahomes yet.
Nah.
But he do got the better team around him right now.
Yes, that I do agree with. Roster construction. I'll say this. I think the one question mark you can say about the Chargers this year is the coach. And I watched that game last year, and a few games of the Chargers games last year, and the coach blew at least 2 of those games. The finale against the Raiders, and then the one against Kansas City on a Thursday night. The fourth down plays, which I'm cool with. You're being aggressive, but at some point you got to start converting these things. And at some point you got to have a feel for how the game is going. And I didn't get the feel that he had that. So this year, is he going to reel himself back in? Is he going to be conservative? Is he going to still be aggressive? And is that going to still hurt him in the long run? So that's my issue with the Chargers.
Be aggressive. I think he's going to continue to be aggressive, but it's going to pan out this time, and I think it's going to pan out more than it doesn't, and I think that's going to be the difference.
Okay. The West for me, and we can't forget about the Devontae Adams acquisition in Las Vegas either. That's going to be going to be a problem too, along with Darren Waller as your tight end, top 3 tight end, and you still got Hunter Renfrow, who could play the slot as good as anybody. So we can't forget about the Raiders in that regard. But until somebody dethrones Andy Reid and Mahomes, I'm going with Kansas City to win the West.
I respect that.
I'm gonna go with them, man. I'm playing it safe with this one anyway. Even though this is the toughest division in football, quarterback wise,
easily.
Quarterback wise, and
period. This is the toughest division. Period. Fuck just the quarterbacks. Period.
The rosters, the rosters.
Yeah, it's the best division in the league.
Yeah, I think Denver's roster gets slept on a little bit. They do got some good receivers on that side.
They
of the
are
ball.
the worst roster in the division, but they're still a good roster.
Yeah. They got some good players on that side of the ball. So, you know what it is, man. You know, we gonna go different, but these boys win in the North this year. You know how that go, man.
All right, let's just go ahead and go to the wild cards then.
Yep. My wild cards.
Pittsburgh wins. What's your wild cards?
My wild cards. Man, I ain't gonna front, bro. I want to pick the Dolphins so bad. Like, I want to pick them so bad just because Tua gets a lot of hate, and that the defense is good down there still. Defense still good. Tyreek Hill is the number one now, which means Jalen Waddle's gonna see some work. Because of the coverage, and I think Jalen Waddle's gonna really thrive off of that. Running game, who they got? They got
Mostert.
Yep.
Mostert. Okay.
You know what? Screw it. I'm picking the Dolphins as a wild card, man. Screw it. Screw it, bro. It just sound good right now. It just sound good right now.
Sure. Hey, man. It's your picks, not mine, bro.
Give me the Dolphins, man. And I think two teams out the West get wild cards. I think Denver gets one of them, and I think the Raiders get the other one.
Okay.
So Denver.
So no Cincinnati.
So no Cincinnati. No Cincinnati. So I think Denver. Yeah, Denver, Miami, Vegas are my wild cards.
Okay. Wild cards. Kansas City. Kansas City is a wild card.
That's right, because you picked the Chargers. That's right.
Kansas City is a wild card. Baltimore is a wild card. Cincinnati is a wild card.
Okay. I mean, I could argue with you, but it's almost 9 o'clock, and I really want to watch this football game. So
I agree with you 100%, man.
I'm just gonna. Hey, you thought I was unprofessional earlier with Fame? I might just pull the plug on this monitor right here, bro.
Hey, bro, I would be mad. I would just hit in and act like it never happened.
Oh man, so glad to be back, bro. Appreciate it. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody out there watching on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. If you want to catch this on demand, y'all just go wherever you get your podcasts. Also, check us out on Facebook. Click the like button. Click that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Continue to follow us on Twitter at Barbershop SPOR2. You could also follow us on the gram at Barbershop Sports Talk Podcast. And if you got any questions or comments, you can hit us up on the email at barbershopsportstalk1@gmail.com. So, looking forward to Sunday, man.
Yes, sir.
Looking forward to these games.
Who y'all play Sunday?
The Jets. I did want to mention. Speaking of that,
yeah, that's right. Flacco versus I saw that being the headline.
Yeah, it's crazy because in all these years since we traded him away, right? And I've always had this notion that owners want to trade players as far away as possible to avoid facing them, somewhere down the line or whatever. And because it didn't work out in Denver for him, and then he just kind of bounced around, Jets, Philly, and then back with the Jets as a backup, that I never thought we would ever see him. I never thought that we would ever play him, for as long as he been around still.
Quite frankly, who cares?
What's that?
Frankly, who cares that you're going to have to face Joe Flacco week 1 as a New York Jet?
Oh, I mean, I certainly don't.
Yeah, nobody cares.
I certainly don't. I mean, I'll be honest with you. People care more about Baker facing the Browns than they do about
Right, because
like,
that's a way more because that's a legitimate thing to be excited about.
and it's more recent. Like it's more recent too.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be clear. Joe Flacco was washed up. Like, let's be very clear about that. He's washed up. He's been washed up. So why would we care about him coming back years later as washed up Joe Flacco?
Nobody cares.
I don't know who.
But I still never thought that we would ever face him again because he's been a backup all this time. I never thought that this would be possible, but here we are. So
here we go.
You know, and Russell's facing Seattle on Monday night, right?
Seattle, yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's super exciting. I know the story did. I did see, and I won't stretch it. I did see a story today actually where they was talking about Russell Wilson feels like Pete Carroll messed up on that Super Bowl call.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. All right. Well, we'll leave it at that.
Yes, sir.
You have a good one out there, bro. Folks, y'all have a good one. We'll be back next week. Peace. One love.
Love.
Recording stop.